Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video of the Stepwise series. This video aims at supporting students to apply their learning about STSE problems and relationships and related social actions. In this series, STSE refers to relationships between science, technology, society, and the environment. In this video, we focus on the second phase of the RENA apprenticeship, in which teacher teaches concepts and skills necessary for students to do valid research and effective actions on harms and problems related to developments in fields of science and technology. As you probably know by now, RENA stands for Research Informed and Negotiated Actions. Remember that the teacher teaches phase have two parts: input, in which teachers explicitly teach about STSE relationships, research and actions, and application, in which students apply their learning and demonstrate their understanding. For the most part, this video focuses on students' application. So, before applying the activities recommended in this video, make sure that your student first watch our input video about the Quebec City dust pollution controversy. You can find a link to the input video in the description, along with links to all the resources used here. You can also find links to videos that address students' reflections and links to videos that contain more detailed examples to support teachers in the teaching phase. For students' application, we will focus on STSE issues related to using plastic water bottles. Using plastic water bottles became a normal practice in many societies. Yet, there are many problems associated with consuming plastic water bottles, like risk to individuals' health from BPA, harms to marine animals from consuming plastic and microplastic, draining natural water resources, and changing what should be a public resource like aquifers into a private good for the benefit of bottled water companies. In the following, we present some possible resources to allow students to apply their learning about these harms, power relations that govern and regulate and related regulation, and some possible citizen actions. The first resource for students' application is a documentary about plastic water bottles that was developed as a part of other students' independent RENA projects. This documentary explains some harms associated with bottled water as found from students' secondary research. It also describes findings from their primary research and the action they have taken. Students can individually download this case study, read it asynchronously ahead of their class, and be ready to get involved in related group activities in their online classroom. Students might be encouraged to think about other problems related to plastic water bottles and to do internet search to find more about these problems. They might also think about other action they can take. After reading the RENA case study, students might synchronously watch this video about the story of bottled water, which is an episode of the series The Story of Stuff. This video describes the life cycle of plastic water bottle from extraction through disposal and explains possible connected local and global harms to the individual society and the environment. Moreover, it exposes how public desire and needs can be manipulated and manufactured through advertisement and symbolic messages to profit private companies. The video concludes by suggesting possible individual and collective actions that might undo these harms. This video complements the case study and provides new angles and ideas for students to consider. After watching this video, teachers might use Zoom breakout rooms to divide students into small groups. In their groups, students can work on completing the following downloadable activity sheets. This activity sheet allows students to demonstrate understanding of possible individual, social, and environmental harms related to plastic water bottles. After working on it in small groups, teachers might use Microsoft Whiteboard or Google Jamboard to record students' answers as a whole class. This can be done by adding the image of this activity sheet as a background of the virtual boards. Teachers might also find it necessary to emphasize that harms to individual, society, and environment are not isolated, but usually do overlap with each other. For example, microplastics consumed by marine animals can reach humans through food chain, causing health problems. At this stage, students can be encouraged to pose questions about what they would like to know more about harms related to plastic water bottles, and what they might do to answer these questions. This can be a suitable introductory to teach in more depth about valid and reliable secondary and primary research. Another activity in which students can be involved in small groups is related to stakeholders and how they might affect outcomes of certain STSE issues. Interestingly, when stakeholders are addressed, students tend to usually think mainly about a human and how they affect or are affected by the issue. So it's important to bring forward other types of entities involved, such as marine animals, aquifers, and BPA. Also, it's important to be able to explain how each of these stakeholders can play a role in the issues related to bottled water. For this purpose, students can then work as a whole class using Microsoft Whiteboard or Google Jamboard to complete this stakeholders position activity sheet. They can also further suggest other stakeholders to be considered and their possible views. As mentioned earlier, the image of this activity sheet can be used as a background of the virtual boards to record answers. Once teachers feel that their students have developed good understandings about different types of human and non-human stakeholders and their varied position on STSE issues, they can move forward to explain how different stakeholders usually have different power and connected relations that affect possible outcomes of certain issues. Stakeholders' relationships will be discussed in detail in following videos of this series. As one main goal of Stepwise is students developing agency and expertise to take civic actions, we suggest one basic but main activity that should address students' understanding of different types of actions. These activity sheets will help students to consider the need for both personal actions, like using refillable water bottles, and collective civic actions to support their larger societies and environment. They can also understand how their local communities are connected, and are affected by their global context, and the need to take actions to address both. After completing these sheets, students can be encouraged to reflect on their own specific context and think of what actions might be most suitable for that particular context and why. They can individually video record their thoughts using Flipgrid and upload the video to be watched by their classmates. This can be an entry point to teach in more depth about types of action and the criteria of effective ones. One thing that is addressed in the video about bottled water and is usually very unrecognized by students is how images and symbolic messages affect our psyche and create certain desires and beliefs which might not be true. So it's important to bring this issue forward to students' attention to be aware of it. So, after completing the application activities, teachers might choose to dedicate some time to teach students about symbolic messages in advertisements related to science and technology products. Teacher can use this image or any similar ones from bottled water advertisement to show students how these images can seduce us by sending implicit messages about bottled water as being pure, clean, healthy, and safe choice. This might create a desire to buy it. Similar to other teaching activities, students should have the chance to apply and demonstrate their learning. For this purpose, students can complete this activity sheet about some symbols in this or similar advertisement and possible messages they receive from it. Students might use Google Chat or Microsoft Team Chat to discuss their views with their peers. After completing this activity, students might be asked to design a counter advertisement to support tap water or refillable water bottles. Thank you for watching.